Recording has begun. So we're back. We in here for another episode of the Runners Club podcast. We keep figuring out a way to show up every single week with more conversations about this wonderful freaking sport. And I am thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, it's never going to get old. It's a theme for a reason, because the theme is infinite. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Runners Club podcast, y'all. I'm your co-host, Courtney Phillips.
This is Ian Gonzalez. We're back here with another one.
Would you like me to start introducing you?
I don't know. No, I think I like saying my name.
You just love giving a really pregnant pause before you go, this is Ian.
Really pregnant pause.
You be like,
because I'm watching the video and I feel like your lips are ready to, say, and this is, Ian and stuff like that. But then it's like, I'm waiting. Video is weird. Even though we've been doing this for like weeks on end at this point, it's still like weird to catch up on those cues on, is this person about to say another thing yet?
No, they need to hear you. Hear you say your name. Yeah, that's, in the works, put that out there. Yep.
We need a studio, fam. We need to get back in person.
Period.
With cameras, you feel me?
Right. Real professional. I just put a ring light around my computer screen so that you can really see my face, okay? Because I've been taking notes from these YouTube videos. I'm just trying to get my best light on.
With the background luminescence and shit, like it's gonna keep elevating every week.
Look, I gotta get the skin popping on the screen.
Meanwhile, I'm showing up looking like don't nobody love me.
Okay, first of all, let's get into this because not okay. What happened to your computer? Let's just share, because like that, I feel like that's in the theme. You know what I mean? And I feel like, well, do you want to share?
I am. I mean, it's out there now. I'm recording on my phone and my AirPods today because unfortunately my laptop and computer was stolen on Sunday. So
if you know who it was, let him know.
Let me know. We pulling up. I mean, I'll be checking the Find My Phone app like at least
catch it on I-95.
Gee, real quick
south,
on his way to Wisconsin.
I was gonna say Indiana.
Right, real quick, man. Somebody got it out of the car. I popped in the house for like an hour and a half, and somebody, went into Karen's car and grabbed my bag out of the trunk. So, that's where we are with it. I was like telling Courtney, like I'm not usually emotionally attached to physical objects, but I worked so hard to get those items. And those are like my Swiss Army knives to all the things that are the Runners Club, Last Lap, 7 on Sundays, my personal life, that I didn't realize how attached I was to these. So like about a day or two later, I just became so overwhelmed and emotionally distraught. I just like shut down.
It's a lot, especially everything we have is on our electronic devices these days. I just got a new phone yesterday. And this is the first time where I intentionally wanted to keep my current phone just for the content.
Right.
Like I can't get rid of this. And I don't care if it's in a cloud or whatever. Like at the end of the day, like I need to have a backup. I need to, and it's in perfect condition. So I can turn that bitch on at any point and like airdrop what I need if necessary.
Real quick. And to add injury to insult, I only owe $16 left on that iPad.
Damn.
$16.
Well, hey, look, it puts you in a better position to get a new one. But, hopefully insurance will come through and you'll end up with an even better situation.
Yeah. And that's been a learning lesson too, because I got options. I got business insurance. Apple Care, like, we'll give you a new iPad for $100. The MacBook, they was like, they conveniently couldn't give me the replacement number over the phone. It was like, we'll send you an email for that. I was like, oh, okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. But we're going to be good. It is what it is. I'm just going to be, trapping off the phone for the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm not trying to go down a complete electronic rabbit hole right now, but so this week, someone ran, like a big semi truck came through our alleyway and ran into the cable line for our internet and completely cut off the internet for the entire building. And yeah. So then I was out here on my phone, because I have unlimited, and so I can't just use my Wi-Fi on my phone. And so we was out here just struggling. Like, what if you work from home? And you don't have internet. What is your life? You just can't do it.
Imagine since 2020, like I'm in my store, it does not have internet. So everything is running off hotspots, cellular, data, just everything, G. Like I've been trapping off hotspots for like a year or two now.
I'm going to have to honestly get an external one, so that I can travel with it and go down south to the farm, because my family ranch still does not have internet.
Yeah, but that's not like an infrastructure situation.
Right, but okay. But honestly, because of where it is, because it's so rural, even if you get internet, it's so slow. You might as well just buy your own hotspot, but I digress.
Here we are. Sometimes running is not the biggest problem in our lives.
Nope, it's not. I got up this morning and went to hot yoga with Kara and my friend Akudo. And that was nice. Ooh. It was nice to switch it up, because I also ran this. I've been running, thank God.
Thank you.
I've also been swimming and all that. And swimming, as great as it is, as much as people say, oh, you can't injure yourself with swimming, make sure you warm up your arms, your neck. Okay. Maybe do some squats before you hop in the pool if you're really trying to get after it, because the next day after me swimming on Monday, my neck was tight, my shoulders tight, full arms tight, just everywhere, my whole body. Because I started doing
the full body.
The kickboards. I was doing the side little situation where I was looking like a mermaid. You know what I mean? It was, look, I was really getting after it, and I kind of just hopped in and didn't warm up.
Oh yeah, it's real. That's a full body sport right there.
Yes, it's a whole full body up to your neck sport, down to your toe sport.
You need the compression joint for the whole body. Just put me in one of them Acme tubes. Let me.
So having hot yoga today. So I'm at hot yoga. I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be at least usually with hot yoga, you're sweating so much that your clothes are just soaked. It's like you took a shower, right? But so it's already hard. But this instructor this morning was not giving anybody any type of moment of reprieve. She just was like, oh no, where's the triangle in your leg? Straighten that front leg. This knee needs to be straight. You're not doing it correctly. She came with energy, and she was not about to let anybody leave hot yoga not fully putting their effort in. And I wasn't ready. And so it was just, as much as I thought it was going to be a little bit more relaxing and more of just a gentle sweat, it was uncontrollable sweating. And then someone in my ear, telling me I'm not doing it correctly at 6:00 in the morning. I was like, oh, this is a little cross-train recovery situation. I know hot yoga is hard. Y'all don't come for me, but still, it's still yoga.
It's also early. It's also early.
Relax.
It's also early. I didn't come here for constructive criticism.
Nah, she was on me. I did do a headstand though, without grabbing my neck. I did where your hands are just kind of like a goalpost. That was the first time I did that. And so she really, if anything,
can push up soon.
Yeah, I mean, she pushed me to a level of excellence today, and so I have to thank her for that.
Okay. Also, fuck people's gas. They've been quiet all morning. As soon as we hit record, they yo, just tear this whole shit up. Just pull out the big joints. Let's just they don't even be making noise.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me close out my Outlook and my Slack. So I know some of y'all listened to our last episode. I'm gonna need to get this mic figured out because it goes in and out. But I know y'all heard our last episode. It was just us, and that was great. You know what I'm saying? But this week we have some guests because we are getting in preparation. We are in preparation of the 13.1, which is on Sunday. And
Sunday, June 5th. Yep.
Yeah, and y'all know how we like to do it because if you've been rocking with us and you remember the pregame and we had elite athletes come speak to us.
We had the Olympians doing the marathon.
You know what I mean? Like we talked to them and then they did great things. So I feel like we're a really good omen for runners. Like they need to come on the podcast, get this good juju, and then hit the streets. So
there we go. So I mean, we're being blessed by two athletes today. We're gonna bless them right on back. I think who we starting off with? We're gonna start off with
we got Brian Siemann. Okay, he is a paraplegic athlete. And
Paralympian, you feel me?
Yeah, Paralympic. Say that again.
Paralympian.
I mean, why?
that word fucks you up.
I said, excuse me. Yeah. His primary events are the 100 meter, 400 meter, 800 meter, and marathon. He's going to do a half marathon on Sunday. So I feel like this half is like really bringing out new runners in a different way. Like these elite athletes in a different way. Cause a lot of people, they come to Chicago for the marathon because that is the Chicago race. But now since that same company, Chicago Events Management has now done this 13.1, they have that pull to bring these elite athletes out for a half, which is interesting because I wonder how many elite athletes come out for these other half marathons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real. And for Fan to be stepping down, because I mean, that's a big jump between 8 and 12 to the marathon. And he like, all right, let's go ahead and see what this half looking like. Cause this is like they've been saying, like this course is a fast course.
Yeah.
It's not really that hilly. You moving through it.
Yeah. And my guy's from Champaign, Illinois.
Nah, he's from Brooklyn, but he went to school in Champaign.
Yeah. It says birthplace Brooklyn, hometown Champaign, Illinois. So he probably was
okay. Maybe he grew up in Champaign. We
gonna
get to the bottom of that.
Right. Okay. He even went to the University of Illinois.
Yeah. Like what made you leave Brooklyn to go to Urbana?
Mm-hmm.
To Champaign, like early in life.
Yeah.
Like before college.
And then right after him, we have Diane Nukuri. She's a Burundian American professional distance runner. And what else can we say about her? This
is our second time speaking to Diane because she was there at the pregame.
Right. So this is our second interview with her. Like, look at our experience right now, our resume, our CV is really filling in. I just got to say that right now. Okay. Just a little pat on the back.
Oh my God. Y'all even know
that. But yeah, December 1st, she's a fellow Sag. Shout out your girl. Marathoner, right? You know what I mean? She does a 5K, 2K. She's an Olympic, she's an Olympic, I don't know if I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's won a marathon.
Yeah, when I was doing my research, I didn't see anything that clearly said she won one. So we need to get us some medals. We need to get us some wins. Well, we also ask her, like, hey, the way your profile is set up,
right?
We need some clarity.
You know what I mean? My girl, and she's also married to a fellow elite athlete. I mean, ultimately, she's a really fast runner. She's really dope, has a dope look. Her hair is always on point. Like she gets her, like the haircuts she gets for these races it's just insane. Like, I mean, she's got a vibe to her. And she's also a real estate agent. She's a mother.
Some mother.
Okay. Yeah. And she is a runner for ASICS.
Yes. 1000%. I'm excited to talk to these two amazing athletes coming in for the inaugural Chicago 13.1. Just seeing what is this? Are they just putting their toes in the water, see how it feels? Are they going out for the kill? Is this a warm-up race? Is this just I want to take everybody out? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? Because the elite, I don't know, I guess Corral or the elite group is constantly growing for this race. Is
it? I mean, it seems like they kind of fill in last minute from our conversations with the event management group. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see like everybody that shows up. I don't know if we can give our update yet, because it's like part of the reason why this is happening is just because of our update.
I feel like what? It's like
you go first.
It's like 2-3 episodes prior to this.
It's like a couple. It's not this weekend, but by the time this episode comes out, what our update will be giving it's in a couple of days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this episode is
will come out
Thursday.
Right
now, and then a few days after this, there will be the Chicago 13.1 half.
Yep, on Sunday.
Stuff like that. Awesome. So that means you get to hear us twice in 1 week. You know what I'm saying? You get to hear us right here in your ears on your training run, your little easy week, your taper week, you chilling and stuff, and then you get to hear us on stage. So,
and what are we doing? What are we doing on stage?
What are we doing on stage? We getting y'all prepped. We getting y'all ready at the starting line. We getting y'all hyped up.
Can we wait?
Energy at the starting line.
Okay, let's get back into that. Because we only have a little bit of time with Brian, so let's let him in because it's our time. Is that cool?
Okay, we'll come back.
Here we go. Okay, we are back, and we are here with Brian Siemann. That's correct, right?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for joining us, first of all. By the time our listeners hear this, this will come out like Thursday, Friday. The race will be Sunday. And so we're just kind of giving people a pep talk, letting people know what it is. Because this is our first like half marathon on the west side of Chicago through, the events management group here in Chicago who does the Chicago Marathon. So really happy to have you here. So welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me. And I'm excited to go out and race on Sunday.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love the fact that you use the word race.
Right.
Because
Intention.
We have questions, not in a specific order, but since you use the word race, I am very curious. Like, are you coming to Chicago to just smash the field? Are you breaking the tape? Is just you dipping your toes in the water to see what it's going to be like? Are you coming in hot? What's going on?
I think we're coming in hot. There is a pretty large contingent of wheelchair racers from the University of Illinois program. So I get to train with them. And we, initially, I will say I kind of thought it was just going to be a nice training run, go up to Chicago, do some training. And then the field really grew. And so it's going to be a fun race out there. I think there's I want to say we have at least, including myself, 3 other male Paralympic athletes. So we have Daniel Romanchuk and Aaron Pike as well. And then we have some really good up and coming younger athletes too that are really awesome. So it's going to be a fun, fast day out there. I think. I don't think any of us are gonna. We kind of want the bragging rights to say we won. So we're not taking it easy on anyone.
And Romanchuk just did Boston, right?
Yeah, he did.
He won, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Did he win Boston? Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, he did.
And Aaron Pike got second. So it's okay. So I'm racing a stacked field.
There we go.
Well, how we were looking at like some of the races that you normally do, and we did not see a half on there. So is this like, what's your approach to this? And I guess, have you raced a half in the past? Like, how did it go? What's your approach here?
Yeah, so I've done some halves. I've done like the New York half.
Okay.
I've done the Indy Mini a couple times as well. Halves aren't usually, they've kind of grown a little bit more in terms of just sort of opportunities to compete in them. So the thing that I personally like about the halves are that it's a half marathon. So I'm much more of a sprinter and a track athlete that happens to do long distance racing as well. And so for me, what I like about the half marathon is that it gives you the opportunity. There's more room for attacks and kind of surges and things like that, because it's not as long as a race. And so you're able to I'm able to kind of use some of my strengths a little bit if I'm in that pack with the men to make sure that we're kind of putting the hurt on each other every now and then.
I love it because I mean, like we were just saying before you hopped on, the conversations around this course is pretty fast. It's pretty quick.
Well, that's actually good to know. I'm going to be fully honest, and I haven't fully looked at the course yet. I'll start looking at that probably a night or two before just to see. But that's good to know that it's fast, because that means we're all definitely gonna go for it, especially with it being spring/summer, however we want to categorize the weather. If it's going to be nice weather, that's really kind of the most ideal situation for us to be out there. It's not cold and chilly like most of the other kind of fall marathons or even early spring like halves are.
And so we tell our listeners that, so you're a Paralympic athlete. Did I say that correctly? Because I stumbled over that earlier. It's one of the questions that Ian and I both have is about your wheelchair. Like, one, who makes it? And then two, like, are there any like, I don't know, is what would you, as an athlete, like, do you have preferences? Like, can you tweak it? Like, can you customize it? And like, what are the limitations there?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question about the racing wheelchair. So there are a few companies across the world that make racing chairs. They vary sort of in the most standard racing chair that a lot of athletes will use is a racing chair that's an aluminum frame, and that's probably the cheapest, which ranges around $5,000 to $6,000.
Wow.
And so now, though, there's kind of been an increase in either hybrid options with carbon fiber and aluminum or straight carbon fiber. And those chairs can range anywhere from $10,000 to like $40,000, depending on sort of the level of carbon and things like that. And so I do not use one of those. I use it for
$10,000, $40,000. That chair should be pushing you. Shit.
Yeah, I know exactly. I better be like just sitting there enjoying the view. So there's a pretty wide variety, but a lot of athletes will use most likely just the standard aluminum frame or some kind of hybrid frame. So there was a couple companies. There's a pretty big company, the chair that I use, it's Carbon Bike USA. And they make both. They make the standard aluminum frame, and it's a really solid and well-built chair, which is ultimately what you're kind of looking for. Every racing chair itself is completely custom to the individual. And so it's not as if, someone could just hop in my chair and just start using it, because it's built specifically to my measurements and sort of how I like to sit. And so that's there are rules in terms of like things that you can do to the chair, but for the most part, you can really make it custom so that it's as comfortable as possible. I don't know how close any of the other runners have ever gotten to one of the athletes in the racing chair, but we are like crammed in there, and so you need to make that.
That's what it look like.
You
gotta make it as like custom as possible, because you don't actually have a lot of space or things like that in it.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that the $40,000 chair, I mean, it's like space material, but or a spaceship material, and it comes down to like lightness. of like how heavy the metal is specifically.
Yeah. And so a lot of that, the higher end ones typically are all carbon fiber. They've done a bunch of like wind tunnel testing and stuff with it as well to make sure that you're as aerodynamic as possible.
Right.
There are very few people in those chairs, and those are usually like sponsorships. Like, so it, it might be like Honda, for instance, has several sponsored athletes that use a Honda frame chair. And so they go through pretty rigorous sort of testing to make sure that the chair is as aerodynamic and fit as possible.
It's your shoe.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Right.
Very expensive shoe.
All right.
I love it. So, and then I have like a follow-up question that is probably sounds dumb as hell, but I was watching the Boston and I was like kind of like live streaming some commentary on the Boston, and like Roman Chuck and Piper just kind of moving. And then I was like, yo, like, because I didn't notice there was no like handles on the side. I'm like, are they like moving with their armpits? Like, is it just like an arm swing? And then I kept hearing this click, and I'm like, so I Googled it, and I guess there's some kind of things that y'all have in your hands. Like, are you like, how does that work? Because for me, I'm like, the hand-eye coordination it would take to like throw something in a hole and push it. It just, I couldn't wrap my mind around this. I'm like, these.
Oh, you're clicking it? Okay.
Yeah. No. So I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't know. So with wheelchair racing, we never actually use our hands. Like, we don't grip the hand ring. So each of the wheels will have a different size diameter hand ring on it, and so those range anywhere from about like 14 inches to Daniel, I think, uses 17.5-inch hand rings because his arm span is so long. And so that's coated in either a tire or tubing material. And that's purely based on preference of the individual. And then we actually we've created these gloves that are 3D printed now. We used to make them by hand, but now with 3D printing, we can just quickly 3D print these gloves. And so those are also completely custom to our hand size. That there's a groove pattern on the glove that helps with that coordination, but you have to learn that groove pattern before you start, as you're using the gloves. And so what you do is then you put like rubber on those gloves as well. And so it's friction-based propulsion. You're never actually grabbing the ring like with your hands, because that would actually slow you down. But so the contact between the glove rubber and the rubber or the tubing on your hand ring is what actually propels you forward. And so it's that
traction. Okay. Sorry, continue.
So you never grab it, which is, I think a lot of times people think that we're just sort of grabbing and pushing it or whatever. And it's like, no, that would be the worst thing in the world to try and, push up some hills or anything. But yeah, so it gets you moving pretty quickly. And there's obviously just some maintenance and things with that. The rubber gives way and stuff. And so it's just, taking care of that and making sure that it doesn't fall off in the middle of the race or something like that. Cause that's happening. So
then do you have extras? Or does that slow you down?
Some of us will travel with, some of us will carry a spare set with us on our chair, attached to the frame. And that might have like sandpaper on it or some other kind of, sort of additional kind of friction tack. So if it starts raining in the middle of the race or something like that, we're able to kind of swap out our gloves. And this way the race isn't ruined, because there's been a couple times that it's just started raining in the middle of the race. And if you don't have that preparation, if you don't have any kind of tack or like sandpaper or things like that, it's going to be really hard to keep that chair moving, because you're just going to be slipping.
Yeah. There goes your traction. Right. Interesting. Wow.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that. Yeah. I learned a lot. That's pretty cool. It's like, you like got Spider-Man hands for like an hour of the day. You just moving. I love that. So let's come back to race day. Like, what is your because I know for a lot of us, who may be more considered recreational road runners, we have our big pasta the night before the race, our carb load the night before the race, and then the morning of, I mean, some of us do bagels, some of us just do the goos, the tabs. What is your night before and race day morning routine?
Night before is pretty basic. I like to not, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love carbs. Carbs are like pasta. I could eat pasta all day. I used to be convinced when I first started racing, I was like, oh, I'm working out. I get to eat pasta all the time. And then I very quickly learned that no, I can't. So for me, night before is probably something pretty basic, some salad, chicken, rice, some other veggies. Some bread as well. Again, love me some carbs. So I will always have some bread. Usually at some of the races as well, they have some kind of like dessert or whatever. I'll definitely eat a cookie just to, gotta treat yourself. Never deprive yourself of something you want. Now it's like one sugar. Cookie, not like 12, but I'll have like a cookie. So that's like night before. Race morning is always black coffee first thing in the morning. I mean, I'm a big coffee drinker, and so I need to have something to wake me up. And usually like a banana and a piece of toast. I can't eat a whole lot in the morning. And a lot of other like of the wheelchair athletes, because of the way that we sit in our chairs, and we're like on our stomach, we're like kneeling on our stomach, sort of. Most of us don't eat like a 12-course meal. That we don't do a whole lot. And then we'll stick some kind of goo or the like chews on our chair as well to grab in case we need something, during the race. Or I use like electrolyte like in the water and just kind of use it, and then I'm just starving by the end of the race. I'm like, all right, get me
out of here.
Get me some food now.
Well, so that's of that, like, okay, first of all, back to the chair. So you must have like pockets in there to stick everything.
No.
So you're saying water, you're saying these where is it going?
So we kind of just fill in the space. So
you just kind of underneath.
Some people will attach like a Camelback or like a bladder bag for like fluids on the back of their chair.
Oh,
I don't
smart.
usually drink that much, and they like run the hose through the through the front of their chair. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore because one time someone was drafting off of me and they hit it and it exploded.
Oh my God.
So I learned to not do that. So I use a smaller like bag for fluids, and I just kind of I stick it like in between my legs, like by my feet, and run the hose up that way. And then other people will just make use of just like Velcro straps, and they kind of put things like with our spare tires and our like CO2 cartridge to blow up the tire in case we flat. They kind of just strap things on their chair that way, while trying to make sure that it's not like bulky and things are just sort of dangling. We want to make sure that it's as aerodynamic as possible.
I've never seen any of these things on anyone's chair before. A spare tire, a blow up situation. I need to pay more attention.
Like
we're good at hiding it, which is, it's good that I'm kind of glad you haven't seen it, because it makes the chair still look cool. When we still have all of these things, you just don't see it all because we're good at it.
You guys look badass.
I love it.
Well, I wanted to know, first of all, I was looking at your Instagram. Love that you love dogs, because I'm curious, like, does your family like come out to most of your races? Are you like just kind of hopping into this one? I know it looked like you grew up in Champaign, so yeah.
So I went to school out here in Champaign. So I'm from New Jersey originally. I came out to school here back in 2008, and now I haven't left.
Okay, so you live here.
Yeah, so I live here now in Champaign. I work at the university now.
Got it.
I have my 2 dogs. So my 2 dogs are like the highlight of my Instagram. I don't post much about myself. I just post about my dogs. But my family used to come pretty frequently, especially when I first started doing a lot of like these bigger races.
Right.
Now I think they would like to. I kind of don't tell them about something. Like, I don't think they even know I'm doing this half marathon. I'm just like, I'm just doing it. Because I think if I told them, they would definitely come. They do come. They'll come to the, some of my track stuff is a little bit easier to watch and spectate, because I have multiple races and those sorts of things. And so they'll try to come to some track races. But the road races, I kind of tell them they're going to see me for 5 seconds as I pass down the road, and that's it. So,
yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. I can't wait to see. I was like really shocked at how fast the races were going for Boston. And so like with this being half that time
It's gonna be
and
crazy.
a lot less hilly, I'm just wondering, like, we're gonna have to run to the finish line to like call your names as you cross.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, the start line and the finish line are not far from each other. And, you know, but we're probably going to miss you because it's going to be so quick. Before we let you go, can you let us, do you have, or are you one to share your goals before race?
Yeah. So my goals for any race, I guess in general, is to always just do your best, to focus on the preparation that I did beforehand, and know that regardless of the outcome, as long as I've kind of done that work and that training beforehand, that I'm gonna push as best as I can on that particular day. You know, sometimes you can have the best training leading up to something, and it's just that one day it's just you're off. And so for me, it's focusing on the work that I did beforehand, and that the gains that I made as a result of training, and that the race at the end of the day is sort of the cherry on top of the training that you've done. And so to focus on the positives that way. For this race specifically, my goal definitely is to get top 3.
Okay.
I would like to. It's going to be hard to win. I mean, I think everyone's going to win. I recognize that's going to be hard with Daniel and Aaron there. So I'm going to say top 3. We're going to say that hopefully that's a goal for this race.
Love that.
I mean, you're from the state, so you know it's home turf. So we rooting for you, bro.
Yeah. I know. We're gonna we're gonna say top 3. We're gonna make that the goal.
I love that. Well, good luck, and we're very excited to see you out there.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Amazing.
All right. Peace.
He was great.
Brian was super freaking awesome.
I could talk to that man for a whole hour. Like I feel like the questions that we had, I feel like going into it, I was like, oh, he'll just answer it, whatever. Now I have so many more questions.
Right. Like legit. Like that was like, first of all, the fact that they carry so much stuff.
What? The water? Where? How?
Nah, I just thought they was just like, I'm gonna be out there for an hour. I don't need no water. I thought they just toughed it out. I was like, they soldiers. Like,
right. And then the traction thing, like, the no gripping thing.
I was wondering, because I thought it was a clip. I'm like, no, they got like Tony Stark gloves. Like,
that is wow. Yeah, honestly,
I can't wait to see them up close.
We need to have him come back because I have some more thoughts.
Some more.
I have a lot more to ask this man. Also love that he works with the youth. Super inspiring.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't even think about the fact that Roman and Pike was gonna be here. And so when I read their names, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what that is. But then when he said, I was like, oh no, I know exactly who that is. Like
he said, top 3.
Yeah.
He said, top 3. I'm good, but the field is pretty vast. Yeah,
but then also, he got some of his peoples from Urbana popping. He can't let them young boys show him out.
No,
you know what I'm saying, show him up. So that's gonna be a really, really good race, man. We got to figure out some way to be able to watch it. We streaming it live from the stage.
I know, because I'm like, how are we not? Because we're literally going back because we got some time before Deanna joins us. Let's go back to our announcement.
If you haven't figured it out yet,
we are going to be announcing the 2022 inaugural half marathon, Chicago half marathon. Okay. An added race to the other major races in Chicago, including Shamrock, including what's the other one?
Marathon.
The marathon.
Yes.
But I thought they did another one.
No, it's just those 2.
Okay, well, look, they got the Shamrock, the half, and now the marathon. And the half is on the west side, like we said. We're calling it the Emerald Necklace. It's not we didn't coin the term. But I don't think
that's what they call those 3 parks on that city, on that side of Chicago. It's called the Emerald Necklace.
Yes.
Because there's beautiful greenery. We got Garfield Park, the Conservatory, Humboldt Park, Douglas Park, all of the boulevards just weaving through this amazing scenery. And our runners are going to enjoy it on foot as they breeze through this course.
Great. I mean, it's flat. It's a nice little, I think it's one loop though. So it's just like a little loop de loop. I think it's like is it like an infinity or is it just a?
No, it's not like a perfect circle or anything, but it's not now a figure eight situation.
I guess it is 3 parks that it goes through.
Yeah.
Garfield, Garfield.
So it goes Garfield out to Humboldt, and then from Humboldt comes back through Garfield out to Douglas, then comes back and finishes in Garfield.
Whew, it's going to be beautiful. And then post race, because like we're going to be announcing, setting everybody off, like, you know, giving all the vibes, right? Mm-hmm. Shouting out the good old sponsors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it's a little party situation.
Well, no, wait.
And then we also going to be at the finish line.
We're going to be at the finish line, calling y'all names as y'all cross.
As you come in, you know, we'll be at the start being like, hey, and then at the end being like, you did it.
Yeah, you did it. So if I know you, your government name might not be called.
Okay.
I'm going to call you what I know you
did. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. Like I feel it in my joints. Okay. It's going to be it's going to be a gorgeous day out, and there's going to be a little post-party situation.
Yeah, they got the festival in Garfield Park.
Yes. And I think that goes till 1:00.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's gonna be a whole thing. It's gonna be a really great day.
A whole production.
It's gonna be an amazing day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. So many things are happening. It's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be wonderful.
Yeah. Let's just say the podcast that we record after this. Well, actually, no. Whenever we do the recap, it's gonna be insane. Let me just put it that way.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
But I'm loving the opportunity. I'm loving the opportunity to host at the 13-point run. I'm loving the opportunity to bring some flavor. Shouts out to the announcer for the marathon and the Shamrock. Like, I mean, that voice is just, that voice is just iconic and amazing and stuff like that. But getting the opportunity to kind of like switch it up and add a different flavor to our Chicago races and stuff like that, and provide them with our energy, it's just like, I'm super appreciative. I'm super appreciative to get this opportunity for y'all runners. Like,
same.
I'm loving it. Like, I get to cheer for y'all.
Right. Like loudly. in the most ultimate way.
Yes.
Like there's no larger way to cheer for the community.
Yes.
Than to be the announcer.
Yes. So we shouting out Grocery Run. We shouting out Peace Runners.
All y'all.
We shouting out 7. We shouting out Gumbo.
3 Run 2.
3 Run 2. Tortugas. We shouting, you know what I'm saying? Black Men Run. You know what I'm saying? Like
Venados. All them.
All 11. Those Venados. Venados. I love it. You know? Everybody. We shout everybody out. We need names, and there's names, and there's bids.
Put your name on your chest so that we can say it right. You know, to say your name and not, you know what I mean? Because you're going to be going by really fast. We're also going to get names read to us, like because your bib gives your name. Obviously, we have a stage manager that's going to help us with this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Professional. So it's going to be cute. It's gonna be really cute.
Do we know what we're wearing? Like, what's our outfit? Are we matching? Like, what are we doing?
You would like that, wouldn't you?
We gotta figure out the outfit. We gotta come.
I mean, I don't know yet. I think that's a good question. I want to be, you know, running appropriate, but also like announcer, like runner meets announcer.
Right.
You know?
I love it. I gotta find me like a silk Louis scarf or something I can wear on my head.
Louis scarf.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need
said
something.
babushka.
You feel me?
Oh, okay. So as we are about to invite in Diane, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back with her. All right. Okay, we're back and we have Diane Nukuri. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Amazing. Go ahead, Ian.
Wait,
your mouth looked like you was about to say something, so that you know what I mean. Unless you want me to get this started, I can go because I love to talk.
Yeah, so go right on ahead, go. I'm excited. I'm excited to speak to Diane again. Like we said before we hopped on, like we spoke to her in a group setting at the pregame last year. So really excited to have this one-on-one with you again, and to have you back here in Chicago for a half marathon right here. I mean, if I had to start it, it would probably be with the same question we just asked Brian. Like, is this a training race? Is this a warm up? You just seeing what it's like to do this here, or are you coming guns blazing? Like, are you coming in hot? Are you trying to take the tape? Okay.
Ooh, good question. Actually, it's kind of like a training run, but it just depends. If I feel good, I would definitely go for it. But I do want to come and run with the community of Chicago and hopefully run with you guys for the race. So I think it's just being more involved in the community and it's kind of nice for us. I mean, we always want to run and win, but obviously it's like also nice to connect with the community and encouraging just other people to run and just have fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll be announcing, so we'll be able to see you off, and we're very excited. We just spoke to a Paralympic athlete, Brian Siemann, and he was amazing. And so, and I was actually, so at the last marathon, last marathon, I was at the start line and I saw you there as well. And I'm a big fan. I was like, the whole time I was like, does she see me? Does she recognize me? Does she remember that I interviewed her? Like, but I was like right there. I was right there, like fangirling. And I saw your haircut and it was giving speed. And so I'm wondering, like, are you doing something like this for this? Are you just kind of popping up, just like doing whatever? What's going on?
Well, first of all, thank you.
Yes.
It means a lot. So I actually kind of have it as like a routine to get a haircut before the race. Like I always feel, you know how it is. It's like going to get your hair done or, it's kind of like a routine for me. So I always shave the sides.
Yes.
And especially when it's hot, you know how hard it is to have a lot of hair when it's hot out. So it's always like, I just always feel good. I always feel ready to go. And it doesn't matter the speed I'm going to, choose to go on this. Is it next weekend? So I'm definitely going to be shaving the sides and kind of similar to Chicago.
Yes, I love it. It's like because for anyone who has not seen Diane's haircut, like it's like a mohawk with the side shaved, but then it's cuter. Like you give it's more than a mohawk. It's vibes. I love it. Yes.
It's a faux hawk, okay? Get it right.
A faux hawk. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She said, girl. Vocabulary.
It's okay.
I'm loving that, yo. You know what? I mean, look good, feel good, run better has always been my motto. And a nice outfit, fresh haircut, gets me right is just important as whatever my morning routine is, whatever I'm eating the night before and stuff like that. It just feels amazing. And I know, Diane, you're also a parent. I am currently parenting. Our bi-weekly guest has just popped into the room, my 4-year-old August. So
he'll pop in sometimes.
Yes. With questions.
See, I don't actually. Did you say I was a parent? I didn't get that.
Are you not? Wait. So we've seen kids on your Instagram. Do you have kids?
No, I don't. Those are my nieces.
Oh, cute. Okay.
I pretend like they're mine.
okay, because you fooled me. I was like, oh, she's a mother too. You know what I mean?
Right.
She got
You
kids.
do a good job.
She out here doing everything. She's, I mean, either way.
I love them, but I get to hand them back. So it's kind of nice.
Super
auntie duty.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Some of us do that very well. So so like going into this half, like, do you race a lot of halves? Like, is this common? Okay.
Yeah, normally I actually do, but in the last few years, I haven't done a lot of halves. But yeah, half marathons are actually my favorite. But this feels kind of like a last minute thing. But I do enjoy the half marathon. It's not quite as long as a marathon. It's actually a lot more fun. You can have fun with it. Versus marathon, sometimes things go wrong.
Right.
And it's just a long day. So,
right.
Yeah.
So, and when you show up and you're in the field, that elite field, do you have friends? Do you like chop it up with your friends? Like, who are you looking forward to seeing?
In Chicago, I saw a few names. A lot of them I don't think we're friends, but a lot of time, honestly, I feel like every race I go to, we always kind of either warm up together or cool down together and we become friends. And I mean, I've been doing this for over 10 years professionally. Yeah. So it's like I've met a lot of people. So, I mean, we are friends before and after, but during is just kind of more like racing. And if we, if you, a lot of times if you in the middle of the race and you see another fellow runner and either they're doing well or struggling, somebody run with them and we encourage each other. So, I mean, it is a healthy competition. Yeah.
I would have never thought that you guys help each other out when you're in mid race.
Well, I mean, it's more like, if we happen to be
next to each other,
like, each other, like next to each other, like, I mean, what can you do? As long as, at the end of the day, I'm doing my best, you're doing your best. Like, I mean, we are running to push each other. I'm not like waiting.
Right. No, of course not. But you're like, I happen to be here. Okay, come on. Let's go. You got it. Come on.
It's nice to see a fellow competitor. And especially when you know each other, it just, I don't know, sometimes it just like gives you extra energy. And it's just nice to see familiar faces.
For sure.
Yeah. I think for a lot of us in the running community, a lot of these races that we go to, a lot of our running clubs are running with us. So sometimes we're starting in the same corral. Sometimes we're different. Sometimes you get passed up by somebody, sometimes you're passing somebody that you know, but just seeing them at whatever point during the race, it's like, oh my God, we here together. Right. And it just gives you that extra boost, that extra kick. So I can definitely understand that feeling. It's probably even more so in the elite corral. So
yeah. I mean, it's nice, like, some of these races, and I've seen you guys as, I'm sure you have a running club in Chicago and some clubs in New York, especially like the, when you see like minorities running, like, at least for me, I'm not really used to see it here. So it's always kind of nice. Either you pass them or right before the race and you see everybody just being excited to compete and then just to have fun. It's really nice. I'm just kind of hoping that more people get involved and it would just be more like inclusive and fun. And it's just nice to see. Like, it's nice to see also your people taking, time to take care of themselves and become healthy. And it's not just running, you can walk, but as long as you're just part of the community and participating, it is nice to see. And I love being able to see more people, joining the running club and starting all these road races as well. Because, I mean, if other people can do it, why can, all of you guys do it? Why can't we all participate? So,
Well, I love that you mentioned just like general health and how it is an approachable sport, for so many people. And that's what Ian and I do, because we actually do each have our own run club. And we do community runs every week. And Ian even has a running store, like running corner store, the Last Lap corner store. And so it's so it's like that we live and breathe that sentiment of like looking after our community and caring about their longevity, their health, their wellness. And that's also why we started this podcast, because it's like, now let's like give them something to listen to as they're running, or like, you know, help them learn or hear from other experienced runners so that they can continue to be inspired. And so I'm really appreciative of you just mentioning that, because as an elite athlete, I think sometimes the assumption is that like, you're just here to run and you're fast and you're cool and like, that's it. So,
yeah. I mean, it's so crazy, like to me and to my fellow elite runners, because we think that being an average runner is even more like, you know, impressive, because like you go and work from like 9 to 5 or whatever you're doing, but like you don't really have the whole full day to train, and you're still out there like 4 a.m. out there running. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're running, and I'm encouraging you to just keep going and encourage your friends. And the bigger group you have, the more fun it is to run. So yeah, good job.
Amazing.
I love.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I love that you mentioned kind of with a lot of us, you know, non-professional runners and stuff like that. But we could kind of both notice when we was doing a little bit of research for the interview that you have real estate agent on your bio and on Instagram. So
yes.
You're also, you know, have a job as long as your professional running career. Like, when did you start doing real estate? Is this something recent? 'Cause I don't remember it being up there at the marathon.
See, I just got my license in January. So I started the beginning of this year. And I mean, running is still my full-time job. And of course, real estate is my full-time, but it's really hard to kind of juggle both. And that's why I really do have more respect for people that have 2 jobs, or even 1 job and trying to run as well. Like, it's good. It's a good balance. But I would say so far so good. I'm like just trying to network, and hopefully I'll be networking in Chicago. So if you know anybody who wants to move to Flag, or even somebody who wants to buy a house in Chicago, I can do real estate agents. That's also part of the job. So I'm like just looking forward to doing something different besides running. I've been doing it for a really long time, but I also want to learn to do other things and learn other people and be part of the community as well.
That's beautiful.
I love that. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm excited. I have so many questions. I'm so sorry.
I know. So I'm also just a little bit curious about being a professional runner and stuff. Like, how do I ask this? I couldn't figure out how to ask this. So, how are you able to live being a professional runner? Is there a way where you could do this professionally, live off running? Kind of go? Is that kind of like something that most professional runners are able to have kind of like some, you know, decent quality of living just by running? Or is there like a few people at the top who have the sponsorships and just gets most of the money and stuff like that? Like, how does professional running play out as far as pay goes?
Yeah, that's a good question. See, it just depends. It's all, it depends on individuals, but like for me, I graduated from the University of Iowa in 2008. And then I went for 3 years without like a sponsorship. And then once I got a sponsorship with ASICS in 2011, I just being able to have a contract with ASICS, clothes and everything that I need, bonuses, time bonuses, place bonuses. And we do make money when we like that half marathon in Chicago, and we do get appearance money. So for me, I've been able to leave off just running in the last 11 years. But I'm fortunate enough to have the contract with ASICS. So whereas a lot of people, it is hard to make a living, but I think it also depends on how you are with the money too. Like if you're smart with the money and you're competitive and you're consistent throughout the years, of course you can make a good living. I mean, I've been able to do it, and I'm not the fastest runner out there, but I think it's just choosing the right races. Everything in life, like, you know, you could have the best job, but also if you don't know how to control your money and your spending and all that. But for me, I've been able to choose really the right races. I've been going to like New York in the last 10 years. That's pretty much what I would say I made most of my money. And then Chicago, I've done Chicago 3 times. They've been really good to me. And just being able to even come back for the, next weekend, that's also an opportunity to like make money and just being part of the community. It's not about going to run and break the world records and make money. Like, of course, the people who are doing that are making a lot more money, but you could definitely make a living off of just also being a good person, because if you're not a good person, then I'm not going to invite you back.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. It seems like there's, just with any professional sports, there's just a level of a business to it, and having that level of business acumen on top of also performance, because sports is performance based. So that's kind of what I kind of picked up. That's pretty cool to know.
Where are you based?
Yes.
Are you in the United States?
I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Okay, so I heard you say Flagstaff earlier, just a little bit ago. So do you run up and down the Grand Canyon?
Oh, no. I actually haven't done that yet.
Okay, and y'all, see, you're laughing. Y'all are laughing at me. But I was at Flagstaff for like the last meet, like when there was it was like the Olympic trials or something like that, I think was based there or something. And I was going with my partner, and we were going down the Grand Canyon and then coming back up. And there was a runner who was finished with their workout, and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning already. And I'm just curious as to like, when you're out in Flagstaff, like, there's so many opportunities to get in elevation, and like the workout opportunity is so much different. So I guess I'm just curious if you really take advantage of like the surrounding area in that way for your training, or do you kind of go somewhere else for training?
I do. So we are about an hour from the Grand Canyon. I think some 100 milers, 50 milers are usually run a lot in the Grand Canyon. But I have friends who run 5K, 10K that just go down the Grand Canyon. I think it's like 17 miles, like if you go down and back up. I haven't really done that, but where we live, it's like 7,000 feet, and then you can get up to the highest mountain is like almost 13,000. So I've done that a couple of times. It just really depends on training, but I do take advantage of like the trails and different roads. We have so many places to run that like you don't have to run the same spot for even a month or two. You can just go to different roads, different trails. Like I live about a half mile from a trail. You just kind of like, it's in the woods and it's right next to the road. So there's so many options. So I do take advantage of this beautiful place to train where you can go to different mountains. Or you can just stay here at 7,000, or you can drive down to Sedona, which is 4,000 feet. So you can go lower within 30, 45 minutes. So yeah, we do have a lot of options.
Major. That's amazing.
Love it.
We're asking, so we wanted to know also, like, what is your pre-race night, routine night before, and then morning of?
My pre-race routine, I keep it pretty simple. A night before, I would eat I would say I guess basic food like rice or pasta, chicken or beef. It doesn't really matter. And some vegetables. And in the morning, I would have oatmeal or toast, banana, coffee, lots of water and electrolytes and stuff. So I just keep it simple because I do everything that I do at home because I don't really want to change for the day. A night before the day of the race. So I keep it simple, just the food that's going to be easy on my stomach. But I know a lot of people that eat pancakes. I don't really digest from pancakes. So we're like scrambled eggs. I don't do that in the morning. So everybody's different. But I think the more like, if you keep it simple, just things are just going to be easier. You don't want to be running with a stomach or like stomach that is hurting yourself.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Other than that, how do you recover? So like your post half, what do you do immediately? And then what do you do like when you get back home? And do you have another race that's coming up soon that would change any of this?
Yeah, I do actually have a race the following weekend in New York that I commit to before the Chicago one. So that's why I'm not really gonna race it too hard because then I have to recover. I have to race in the next 6 days. I'll probably just like get a lot of electrolytes right after the race because I'm guessing Chicago's a little bit hot right now.
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty
probably gonna
humid.
be yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
humid, and where I live is pretty dry, so that always makes a huge difference. It's pretty hot here, but it's not dry heat. Is totally different from the humidity. So I try to recover and take in some fluids, eat well, and just kind of enjoy the Chicago eat food. I don't really focus too much on always like recovering. Like I just do what I can with just always drinking a lot of water, eat well, and I think a lot of people too like put too much, I don't know, thoughts into like what do I need to do? And if you're always thinking like, oh, I need to recover all the time, then mentally you don't really recover. So I just trying to have a balance with everything that I do and just do everything I can to go into my next race like more relaxed and happy, and that way I just run fast.
You're so chill. You don't have a masseuse or nothing. You don't get a massage. You don't have somebody,
Oh,
stretching you out.
I do get a massage when I.
Right.
No, I have to on my own. But I do go see my chiropractor, my physio when I can, my massage therapist. But a lot of times, like if I'm traveling, I don't always get that. So I have also be able to be okay with not having everything that I'm used to having. Because in life, you have to be flexible too. You can't just be like, I have to have my massage therapist. I have to have this all the time. You can't be a diva. You just have to be open-minded because
right.
I mean, you can't have everything. So you just got to go with whatever you can at that point. And because then if you're overthinking and it messes with your head, kind of start thinking, oh, if I don't get this, I'm not going to run well. So for me, I've been able to just do this, being open-minded and then like relax about it. And that's how you have a long career. I mean, I'm 37, almost 38, and I still love what I do. So
I love that. I love that. It's just this conversation is giving me like Kuna Matata vibes,
right.
like just mad chill, like hey, it's whatever,
I have to show up. You know what I mean? My hair is done. As long as my hair is freshly buzzed, I'm good.
Which doesn't take much.
Right.
That has been the most like serious thing that you've said this entire 30 minutes. Like, no, I need to have my hair done. Everything else is just like, whatever, I'll be there. We'll do things.
But it should be simple though. Running is that simple. Yeah. I mean, obviously I have to, you have to concentrate and everything, but like, it doesn't really matter whether you're going in like looking like angry and I have to run this time. That's not how it works. Like the more relaxed you go in, of course I get nervous. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I don't really care. Because then if I say I don't care, I wouldn't be able to make it this as like a career and have a long, like, been running for so long, but like also to have it, like it's like any other job. If you really enjoy what you do, then it is fun. You look forward to seeing people that you've known for years, like meeting new people. And I don't know, like, I mean, obviously we know life is too short. Why even stress when I don't have to? I get to come to Chicago and enjoy the city, the food, running and everything. Why should I complain?
You like deep dish?
Right.
You like deep dish pizza?
Do what?
Do you like Chicago's deep dish pizza?
Do.
What's your favorite thing?
Well, when I come to Chicago, I definitely always have to get the pizza, at least one or two. But I feel like my stomach is not really used to all that cheese, so I have to have at least one slice.
One slice, half a slice.
But I do love sushi. Yeah, I love sushi. So if you know any sushi places, I do also look for African food, any East African or West. So that's always, because it just makes me think of home, and I love African food. So
awesome. Actually, 7 on Sundays, they're not open in the morning because we run at like 7 a.m. on Sundays. Usually open like in the evenings, but we meet in front of an African cuisine store. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what region. But it's called Yasa. It's on 35th and King Drive. So
I looked them up, but thanks I think it's from Senegal. I could be wrong, but I was looking them
that
up
actually
there.
might be exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know Chicago more than you do. What's wrong? I'm just kidding. Come on, guys, get it together.
You're right. Listen, we had it at our meeting where my store is located in like a shipping container, and there's a community of other Black-owned businesses there. And we just had like one of our monthly meetings, and we had Yasa cater the meeting and everything. And OMG, like I literally took a pan home of leftovers. It was so good.
Oh, we have to go there. I'm coming there with Abdi, my partner, so maybe we'll just look for it and go eat there. He also likes African food, so. And are you?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna ask if you. But let me host the show. Let me do it. I'm kidding. I was gonna ask if you guys all both of you are from Chicago, or?
I am not. I'm actually from Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota, so even further north.
Okay.
But I've been in Chicago for about 6.5, 7 years.
I personally am born and raised here. This is my favorite place in the whole wide world. Southside all day. You feel me?
Yeah. So.
Well,
and I love it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I am very biased. There's no place greater. I love it. I love running on the South Side. Love being here. I love my deep dish pizza, but it's really the thin crust cut in squares for me. That's really the true Chicago, what is it called? Tavern style pizza. That's really what it is right here in this city. Italian Fiesta is my favorite place to go. I know there's some places on the north side where people talk very highly about, but I love my southeast side Italian Fiesta. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And
like,
you love the
winter.
And you did. I not once mentioned about the winter, but if you love the winters in Chicago, good for you.
Right.
Yo, listen, like I love me some solid winter running. Like, yes.
It's actually really amazing sometimes. I mean, I would say running in the winter is one of the best ways to like grow an appreciation for running for winter, I would say. Cause it's like, you're not overheating. Cause then once you come into the summer within the Midwest, like you said, it's humid here. It's not a dry heat. So it's a whole different experience. Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's true. And you roll in the summer with the summer body because you've been working so hard in the winter. I do.
Period.
I mean, I lived in Iowa for 8 years, and the winters there are very similar to Chicago. So, but I mean, it does make you appreciate running and respect the runners. But I think being in Arizona now, it's like, I'll never go back.
Yeah, I can imagine. The hardest part about running in the winter is just that you're always running at nighttime. Like, I very rarely run during sun time hours in the wintertime, and that stresses me out. It's so hard to get up for my morning run.
Yeah. One last question I have for you before we let you go, just to respect your time, is and because we're talking about food, now I'm curious because you're from Burundi, correct?
Yeah.
And so one day when I visit, what is something that I should be looking forward to eat?
Kebabs. I don't know if you eat meat. We eat a lot of kebabs.
I'm gonna eat meat when I go. I'm a vegan, but I'm flexible when it comes to traveling and trying new things. Because at the end of the day, eating the food is important to me. So kebabs.
Kebabs. We have we do have fish. We have a lake right in the capital city, so we do have really good fish, fresh fish. We have a lot of vegetable. If you are a vegan or vegetarian, we do have a lot of options. We do have a lot of plantains. We do have a lot of potatoes. We have a lot of peas. I mean, we grow everything there. So, I mean, you would enjoy this organic food. You enjoy a lot of like snacks, a lot of, drinks. We have a lot of Fantas. We have a lot of beers. We brew our own beers, and we have moonshine. Maybe don't try that.
It sounds like heaven. Like, honestly, it's like
really
runner's
does.
heaven right there. You said beer, and Ian's ears went, huh?
You had this.
Make sure
you had
if
me
you
at
go
beer and
there.
plantain.
Yeah, if you go there, make sure. Let me know. Make sure, like, if I can be there and I can just show you around. I do actually have a race that I'm gonna put up next year in my village around December. Yeah, around December. So if you guys want to come, more than welcome. You can cover the race, and I can show you around. I can make sure you guys are safe and get you all the food and drinks that you need, and you enjoy running, because running there is also beautiful.
And, well, I was looking, and I know we're over time, but I saw that you run that same race. Is it the same race that you run every year in Burundi? Or that you try to get back to?
I did it for 2 years.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the distance?
So that's the one, and it's a 10K. It's a mix of cross country, because it's in the village, and it's actually at 7,000 feet. So before you go there, you might want to think about coming to Flagstaff for altitude training.
Right.
And then you can go there already. So it is, you can run it. It's just basically to support the girls and the guys from my village, because it's really hard for them. It was hard for me to start running. And I just got lucky. I had somebody who kind of supported me when I was like younger. Otherwise, I wouldn't really be what I am today. So I do want to try to do the same thing, encourage the girls in my village, especially girls, to run, and not necessarily to make money off of running, but just being able to like have that independence and running and just building like confidence as a woman. And I just want to do a lot of things for the girls in my village, and just giving back and show them you can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be running. It could be going to school. I want to be able to raise money and help those that can't afford to buy books and uniform, and just through running, and just show them that like everything is possible.
Oh my gosh, I gotta go. I'll let you know when I'm on my way.
Right.
I'm dead serious. I'm gonna figure it out. And I'm gonna yes. Okay. Sounds lovely.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Diane. I've enjoyed the conversation
so much.
I feel really good, really relaxed for the rest of my day. I'm ready to start my day now. We'll be so excited to you come June 5th, come that Sunday, and get to shout you out while on stage, and to get to shout your name while you crossing the finish line. It's a pleasure. Like I'm so fucking excited.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, thank you for having me. Hopefully I'll see you guys. If you do any shakeouts, I think we're supposed to do some runs a couple of days before. So hopefully you guys can join. I don't know exactly who is organizing it, but yeah, like love to meet all of you and do some like shakeouts and run and stuff.
Love that.
Let's go. Let's do it. Love and energy.
We'll see you on the course out there. All right.
All right. Sounds good. You guys have a good day.
You too. Her calm energy, like halfway through this conversation, I was like, we need to be friends. Like I need to figure this out, kids. We need to be friends. I think I have a friend crush.
There we go.
But
I'm loving it. Ooh, Burundi. Going out to
Burundi and then running a 10K in support of kids having access to running and providing them supplies for school.
Figure this out.
Sounding like a little bit of a trip.
It definitely does. Definitely does. Switching my focus. Let's go. I'm loving it.
What is really, really possible? Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, speaking to these two athletes, God has me like even more ready for the race and ready to see what the rest of the field does, and who else is coming in here, to just take that tape, blow it out of the park. I mean, I want a stellar performance for our first inaugural 13.1. So right there on the west side. Like I want, it's I don't even know. I'm kind of like out of words at this point. Like I just want it to happen now.
I know. I think, Let me get an outfit first.
Let me get an outfit.
Let me get my shit together.
I know I got shoes. I got to figure out the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm like, do I wear running shoes or do I wear like dunks? Do I wear, you know what I mean?
I'm doing running shoes or I'm doing my sandals. I might have my toes out. I might get a man.
Not the sandals. Get them nails buffed.
You feel me?
You know what I mean?
Feet.
Sparkling.
Cute feet for the 13.1.
Yeah, and you really need a good outfit. So get that together. Yeah. Figure that out. Yeah. I don't even know if you want to match me. You know, this ain't about, you know what I mean? Like we can coordinate. Let's coordinate.
I'm gonna look good on stage.
Yep.
I'm gonna look good on stage. I'm gonna be fly.
You're gonna be very fly.
We're gonna be properly prepared for all things.
Yeah. And you know, if you're hearing this and you're not running the race on Sunday, I hope that this has inspired you to show up and support the runners who are showing up to put in the miles. You can always spectate. You can always cheer runners on. That is something that is for free. It's honestly something you could bring your family and friends to and be like, hey, let's go check out this race. You know, it's so much fun. And then afterwards you could check out like the little, you know, the after party, like we said before, but like, that's some of the best parts of this experience is like, are the people who are cheering the runners on.
Yep. Feel free to join us at the Scream Tunnel. You know, we'll be at at a mile and a half checkpoint and stuff. Come cheer, come hang out with 7 on
we won't be there. 7 on Sundays and Gumbo Fit will be there.
Yes. Pull up, cheer the runners moving past, and then, you know, come cheer them on as they cross the finish line. Come vibe out in the festival area. You know, we'll have a good time afterwards, and then we'll see where the rest of the day goes. But it's like running the race is definitely an experience, but the fulfillment you get from cheering these runners on and giving them your energy and receiving their energy is a close second. I mean, oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm happy I'm not running Chicago anymore. Like I just get to cheer.
Yeah. Honestly. So
maybe we'll see.
Everyone can participate, basically.
Yeah. I might have to do a sub 4 in Chicago, so we'll see.
You try and do a sub 4?
Yeah, some
Same.
point.
Yeah. No, I like, you know, yeah.
No, good 3:30. Good 3:30.
I know,
and I gotta get into Boston. So
ideally sub 3:30. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm trying to make some big leaps and hops in my PR.
I love it. All right. Well, so now y'all know what it is. We are the official hosts for the Chicago 13.1. We just had some amazing guests talking to elite athletes on the regular. This is what we're doing now.
It's nothing.
This is where we are. You know what I'm saying?
It's nothing.
We see some of the other bigger run podcasts. Just know we coming. You know what I'm saying?
We're here.
You feel me?
With all due respect.
We're showing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Booking details in the link in the bio, you know?
You know what I mean? You know where to find us.
Okay. All right. We got to get off on the dicks. Y'all have a good day. Y'all enjoy the rest of this week. And to the runners who's running this Sunday, yo, rest up. It's a taper week. Kick your feet up. Enjoy. Balance out these meals. And we'll see you Sunday. Send us names and bibs, yo. Like I want people I'm looking for, names to call out. I want to shout out, you know, all my people from the city. So let us know.
Period. Bye.
Peace.